Hi guys, it is Tuesday Night Live and I am later than usual. I thought I'd be on about 7:30, but it's, I don't know, 7:40. And I'm on now. It is Tuesday, September 6th. And thank you for showing up. Or thank you for watching the replay. Thank you in whatever way you are here showing up. Okay, so I have... Hello, Susan. I've got two cards to show you tonight, but they're the same card. There's a simpler version and a little bit more stepped up version. And they're using two different stamp sets just to give you an idea of different things you could do with perhaps what you've already got in your stash. So I'm going to show you that tonight. Hello, Jody. Before I get started, hi, Maureen. Before I get started, I just wanted to remind you a couple of things. Stampin' Up! Has a couple of things going on this month. One is called Perfect Partners, and they are offering some new dies that are not in the catalog, but that coordinate with current stamp sets. So, like, for instance, there's a Yeti one, there's a Piggy one, there's one with flowers, and there's something else I can't remember. The waterfalls. So you'll definitely want to check that out. So if you are my customer, go to my website. If you have a different demonstrator, go to the website or get in touch with them, and you will be able to see what is on sale. It is only for this month, so if you're interested in any of those, you definitely want to take advantage of that. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Marie. Okay, so the second thing that's going on is all month long, Stampin' Up! Is offering us new weekly specials. So, for instance, through tomorrow, there are, should have counted, probably about 10 things. I think maybe someone that knows that could post in the comments here how many things are on sale, but there are a variety of things. They will be on sale for 1 week. So starting the 8th, there will be new things on sale. So every week this month, there'll be new things going on. So you definitely want to be in touch with your demonstrator. If it's me, be in touch with me. Check out the website and see all the things that are going to be on sale. But you do need to get them during that week. Little heads up on that. You have to get them during that week. Hi, Kristen. Okay, so I'm going to flip you down and talk to you about this card that I came up with. In my head a while ago, but literally couple minutes ago. It's been that kind of week. Okay, let's see if I can do this without... Boop. Okay. I don't know if you saw my shoes. I'm literally wearing Uggs. My craft place is in my basement, and it is cold in my basement. Or the floor is cold anyway. My feet are cold. So whenever you're watching my video, you can probably see I'm wearing Uggs. They're not even my Uggs. They belong to my daughter. Okay, let me move that. All right, stand. Work with me here. Okay. All right, so clearly I need to move that up because the stand, that's where it wants to photograph, so that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to do two different cards tonight. I've got crumbs from last week's production. The first one that I'm going to start with is Hello Harvest, and this can be found in your mini catalog on page 50. There it is. It comes with some or it doesn't come with, but you can get it with some coordinating dies if you so choose. But I'm going to do something very, very, no dies involved. Well, yeah, no dies involved. A big boss is involved, but no dies. Okay, so I'm going to use, I think the highlight of this is probably the pumpkin and how you can coordinate these sunflowers on top of the pumpkin. It's really beautiful. But I don't want you to overlook this leaf. So I'm going to go back to an old school technique that we call the baby wipe technique. So if you're new to it, I'm going to show you how to do it. And if you're old to it, maybe you haven't done it in a while, and this is the perfect time of year to do a baby wipe technique. So I'm happy to use Pampers. I'm not sponsored by Pampers. They just smell good. And I'm just going to use one, but if you're doing a bunch of cards, you might want to stack up more than one. 1, 2, 3, doesn't matter. And it does not have to be Pampers. It can be any kind of baby wipe is fine. But I'm folding it in half, in half and then in half again. So basically there's 4 layers of a baby wipe, and I'm making that into basically a little stamp pad. Now you may be wondering, Betty, where can I get one of those cool Stampin' Up trays? And I'll tell you, in the old days, Stampin' Up used to sell them, and they had a little, I'm going to call it a cork for lack of a better term, but it had a plug, I guess that's the better term, a plug that fit in there, which has long been lost. But good news, if you don't own this, let me show you where you can find this. Stampin' Up is carrying it again, but a new and improved version. So it's on page 49 of the mini catalog, and not only do you get the tray, which it's difficult to see, but see their plug? It twists on. It's much more difficult to lose. And it comes with some brushes, which are really helpful when you are embossing, to take embossing off, etc., as well as some other techniques. But that's kind of what this tray really lends itself to do, is using embossing powders. And see that little baby there? We haven't sold that in years. That's called the Embossing Buddy. People have wanted that for years. It is a static remover and great for heat embossing with powder, which I am actually not doing tonight, but that's where you can get the whole kit and caboodle. And that embossing kit is $27, and you get it all. You get all those things pictured there. Okay, so tonight I'm just using the tray, and I'm using my old tray, but that's how good it is. It will stand up to time. Okay, so I'm going to take, the theme is fall. So I'm taking a bunch of colors, and I've pulled them all from the same color family, the Regals. So I'm going to use a little bit of pumpkin pie. And these are ink refills. Every time you buy an ink pad, you should buy the refill that matches it, because eventually you'll need it. And it's usually... you need it right away. You know how that goes. Like, I'm working on a project, I need it right away. My ink pad is drying out and it's making me a little cranky. So you definitely want to get these as soon as you get your ink pad, and that way you don't forget about it. But let me tell you that these actually last quite a while. I've had some of these. I'm going to show you one. I'm sure I've had it for years. So that's pumpkin pie. I'm going to add some Cajun Craze. Maybe difficult to see the difference in colors as I'm dropping it. Maybe you can see it's a little bit darker. And all I'm doing is putting drops of ink and letting them spread into the baby wipe. The next color I'm using is Crushed Curry. And I do want these to blend, so I have no problem putting them close to another color and letting it kind of all bleed together. And then I'm going to use Rich Razzleberry. I'm going to plop that. Rich Razzleberry is really going to make this pop. You may have noticed that my fingers are particularly inky tonight. This project leads itself to really inky fingers, and it's just the way it is. Okay, this is the one I was going to tell you about. So this is my old olive, and it could have been like an original old olive. It is seriously old and empty, but when you know it's getting empty, when you're filling up your ink pad and you see it's getting empty, go ahead and put it on your wish list, because when you need it, and clearly I need it. That's the end of that. Okay, so I'm letting this all bleed together in here. You can see like this. My hands are a mess, but I don't think they are wet mess, so I'm hoping. Okay, so for this particular card, I am using vanilla because, oops. So much for that. It did get on there. Okay, let me grab a baby wipe. Ha ha ha. They're right here. Okay. I'm going to wipe my finger. It's not going to come off completely, but it'll do the trick for now. Okay. Wish I had a way to edit. I'd edit that right out of a video, but so be it. Okay, so I'm using vanilla. I'm not even worried about that because I'm going to plop something on top of it and you'll never know. Well, you'll know. You're watching, but no one else will know. Like I said, I'm using vanilla because I like vanilla for fall cards. So that's what I have chosen. Okay, so I'm inking up this stamp here. This little guy here. And you can see all of these colors bleed together, and look at the beauty they make. So pretty, right? And when I'm doing something like this, I'm not even going to clean it in between. I'm going to keep moving around where I'm stamping. See, I told you I'd cover that. No one would know. And I'm just going to keep going because all these colors are going to bleed together. So I don't care if I've got a little bit of orange. What am I talking about? Pumpkin pie. And I am going to overlap because it's fall. It's the way it happens, right? There we go. Okay. So completely, well, cover that as much as you want. And then when you're done, just clean it off, right? But you can get several cards out of this. So keep going as much as you want until there's no more color. And then you'll probably have to re-ink and go with another baby wipe. Okay, so this is going to be a super simple card. And yeah, I'll do that later. Okay, so I'm going to layer this in all of the colors that are on here. So I showed you the 5 different colors that I was using. So that's kind of a lot, but you know, it's fall. So I'm going to layer this onto Old Olive. I'm just using my green glue. Plopping that down like so. And then I'm going to layer this on Cajun Craze. Like so. I told you this was simple, right? I wasn't kidding. Okay. Now, for my main... Oh, yeah. Let me do this. Okay, so for the main part of the card... Well, yeah. This is going to go eventually on an Old Olive card. This is thick Old Olive, and I cut it hot dog fashion, so it is long and thin. So it is 4 1/4 by 11 inches, scored at 5 1/2. And whenever you are making a vanilla or a white, basic white, the actual card, I highly recommend using the thick paper because it's really kind of more, it's definitely more substantial than our other paper. But that, to me, while pretty, not pretty enough. So I wanted to add a layer of pumpkin pie underneath, but I thought, let's zhuzh it up a little bit. So I think I showed you this last week, but if you're not familiar with it, this is the Falling Leaf embossing folder. It is a 3D folder and can be found, it's very well hidden in this catalog. So you can find it here on page 53 of your catalog, but see that? See that back there? It is hidden. So I'm here to tell you, there it is. It's like the Where's Waldo of this catalog. Where's the Leaf Fall 3D embossing folder? There it is on page 53. So it's a 3D folder and it's really nice. But it literally is things falling, right? Like leaves scattered across a page. So I wanted to maximize the leaves that are in there. So I'm using this layer here. And I think you'll be able to see when I close it, I want to maximize as many leaves as I can get in there. So I'm just going to keep twisting this until, like, that looks pretty good. So I've got the maximum amount of leaves on there. I'm going to run this through my embossing machine, through the magic of television. Here it is. Okay, so this layer is going to go like that, and you'll see the leaves in the background going across. Now, you could put it off to a side if you wanted, so you can see a little bit more leaves. Oh, I meant to get on that side. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to put it a little bit off to one side. That could make a couple of you anxious, and if it does, I apologize, but I feel like I wanted to see a little bit more of those leaves there. So that's why I did that there. The bottom of this happens to me all the time. It's cut, you know, it's all hand cut. It is cut using a paper cutter, but sometimes you got to go in and just give it a little cut afterwards. And now I get a little edge there. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go give it a real cut with my paper cutter. There we go. Nice and straight. Okay. All right. Now, the words that come in this set that I've chosen to use, I'm going to use hello, but there's you are such a blessing. Wishing you the loveliest day actually comes with the banner. So if you want to use that, you get a banner included. And you are missed. So I'm going to use the word hello. And I've chosen to stamp it in the rich razzleberry. And a tiny strip of vanilla. Here's hoping this comes out. And I'm stamping it kind of in the middle, even though my focal image is off to the side. Oh, it's actually straight-ish. Okay, and then just to pop it a little, again, you could leave it right like that, but I've chosen to put it on some green, old olive green, and pop it on there. Okay, so this is nearly done. I'm going to put that down there. I might choose to add a little bit of ribbon over here. So I'm not actually going to attach that quite yet because I may go back and do that after the fact just to add a little bit more. But I did say this was a simple card, so I should leave well enough alone, right? Leave well enough alone, Betty. Okay. While I'm at it, because why not, the inside of the card, I'm actually going to put a couple of leaves. I went right back to this, and you'll see, still got plenty of juice. And maybe one more down here. And that will be the center of the inside of my card. Because I used an embossing folder, I really like to use green glue because it will get into the nicks and crannies better than using, I believe, better than using my other glue options. So, let's see. There we go. There we go. Simple, right? That was easy. Okay, so now I'm going to zhuzh this up just a smidge, and I'm going to use a different kind of stamp set, or a different stamp set, the exact same kind of stamp set, in that it also has leaves on it. So if you have Season of Chic, this is another one you could do. Very similar size, and kind of realistic-y looking sort of leaves there. So I'm going to do the same thing using that, and then I'll zhuzh it up even a little bit more. Okay, so I have not re-inked this. This is still the same baby wipe that I was using before. So if you missed the beginning how I did this, you can go back and watch. But it's baby wipes, a baby wipe, and a bunch of ink. So you want your ink refills, a bunch of these. You can get away with using as little as 2, and it really looks cool. But the more colors you add, the more you're going to get a really kind of cool mottled look. Now, this particular stamp set, Season of Chic, is a photopolymer set, which means it is a see-through set. Because of that, the image stamps much better if you put some kind of squishy factor underneath. So I'm going to put my paper piercing mat underneath. If you don't have one, a mouse pad will work, a magazine will work, a Stampin' Up! Catalog will work, or a paper piercing mat will work. Okay, so I'm going to just dip into my baby wipe ink pad, if you will, and I'm going to stamp, and I'm not cleaning this off in between. And I'm not even aiming to get to a different part of this. Wherever I land here is fine with me. It's as it's supposed to be. Okay. I think I'm going to stop there because this one also has another stamp which actually coordinates with these. So you could use these two together. They layer on top of each other if you so choose, but in this case, I'm just going to throw in a few more of the kind of see-through leaves. I don't know what you'd call the detail part of the leaf. I'm just going to throw in here in a few different spots and kind of cover it all up. Okay. Oh, do you think I need one more? Okay, stop. Okay, so that's that. Now on this one, let me pull out my original sample here. This one here, I just used a layer of cardstock behind the green. Oh, I didn't add the green yet. Let me quickly add the green. I keep calling it green like it's just green. It's Old Olive. Stampin' Up! Has so many greens. They all deserve respect. But Old Olive is kind of the OG of greens. It's been around a long time. Okay. There you go. Okay, so like I said, in this first one, pulling this in as if I put my words on here, but they're not glued yet because I really think I want to add some ribbon. Behind that, I just did a layer of cardstock. So for this one, I decided to fancy it up, and I'm using our basic border dies, and I've chosen to use this kind of rickrack one. There are a lot of cool dies here that you can get some really cool borders. This one is probably my favorite, the one that looks like clouds, but rickrack is kind of classic, right? So let me show you where you can find this in the catalog if you so choose. These dies I found here on page 169. There they are, $29. You get all those cool dies. And these will last you forever because they're kind of classic. Okay, so through the magic of television, I have already cut this out with the rickrack, and I think you can see that detail there on the side, so it looks like stitching, which is really cool. Okay, so that's going to go right down the center, like so. So while I'm putting this together, I want you to, I'll let you compare at the end, but you can tell me which you prefer. The simpler version of this or the zhizhed up version. And if you can spell zhizh, extra points for you. I have no idea how you spell that. Okay, while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and do the inside of my card. Again, I'm using the thick, very vanilla paper. Now, I'm going to do something a little different. Because these two stamps can be layered, I'm going to go ahead and layer it. So I'm pulling the this stamp, the one with more color, right there, and I'm going to actually, oh, Sandy just spelled zhizh. Good for you. I'm going to do the more detailed one here using Rich Raspberry, just to kind of pop it. And let's see if I can line it up. Maybe. Let's see. Oh, not bad. Okay, so that's what it looks like when it's more or less lined up. Okay, let me get these out. Whoops. I got some seriously inky fingers happening tonight. All right, so that is going to be the inside of my card. And this could be the outside of my card. It could just go like that, but we're going to need some words. So the words that come in this stamp set that I decided I wanted to use, well, let me show you what your choices are. I wanted something long and thin, so I could use You're Amazing Beyond Measure, or Thanks, or Thinking of You, but I chose to use You Make Each Season of Life Even More Beautiful. There's also a birthday one, I'm Here for You and Love You. So I'm going to use, like I said, the You Make Each Season of Life Even More Beautiful. And I'm stamping this on a 3/4 by 4 1/4. Let's hope. Ooh, that came out kind of mushy. Can you see that? It's not really detailed. All right, but through the magic of television, I have one that looks even better. Okay, so that's fine. Let me just close that up. If that happens to you, a good technique to use is just to push some of the ink. If you haven't seen that video, you can go back and watch what to do with new ink pads. This clearly is not a new ink pad, but sometimes there's a lot of ink on the top and the image is very, very small and detailed. So if you find that you're getting too much ink and you're getting this kind of look here, where it's a little bit too blotchy, if you basically want to take the ink and push it into the pad, so you can use a spoon to do that. I'll see if I can point you in the direction in the description below where you can watch the video to see how I push the ink back into the ink pad. All right, I got distracted because Sandy was saying that she just looked up the word she said, and it's not a good word. I'm not going to ask what it is here, so don't tell me, because I don't want to get in trouble in the world of videos. Okay. But clearly, I guess that's not how you spell zhuzh. Okay, so I have layered that now on the black. Nope, on the green, on the olive. But now, for the original card, I had the background of the pumpkin pie with the leaves. For this one, I decided to do something a little different. All right, it's sweater weather, people. So I don't want you to overlook the Knit Together. The Knit Together stamp set is found way in the back of the, well, not in the back, it's in kind of a weird spot in the catalog. Let me show you, because I don't want you to overlook it. But there's all these background stamps, which are very cool and easily overlooked. But see this one down here? It's called Knit Together. It's on page 116. And it's $18. I love this. I think it's great for Christmas time. I think it's great all winter and definitely all fall, because it's finally that season. So I've mounted this on the big block, and I'm going to stamp it pumpkin pie on pumpkin pie. And I'm just going to ink it up this way, kind of backwards, if you will. So I'm just putting the ink down to the actual stamp itself. And then I am going to place my cardstock down on top of it. Carefully take my scrap paper, put it right on top. Whoops, sorry about that. I'm going to take a clear block and just rub it all over the top. And this is going to transfer the ink from the stamp to the cardstock. The reason that you don't do it the other way around is it's very difficult with big stamps to get equal pressure in the middle of it. So usually you get an image around the outside and not a great image on the inside. So this allows you to get a perfect image everywhere. Don't you want this sweater? Don't you want to go to Dunkin' Donuts tomorrow and get some pumpkin latte wearing this sweater? Okay. All right, so let's put this on. So this is going to go right on top. So I cut this full size. So this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it covers the entire front of the card, because I wanted as much pumpkin pie on there as possible. Okay, there we go. Just give that a little push down. This I'm going to put right in the middle, I think. Oh, this is screaming fall. I love fall clothes. Mind you, I like summer clothes too, but fall clothes, you're just ready for it, right? I feel like you ease into summer clothes, but fall, you are all in, right, when it's fall? Okay, and then let's put that right down here. You know what, let's put it on dimensionals, why not? Since this is the zhuzhed up version, we'll put it right with dimensionals, like so. And then we can compare our two cards. We could put a little bling on this if we wanted. I'm going to pull in some of my champagne rhinestones. They look good always on anything that's got any kind of folly colors. So let's stick one. Let's see. Two. I could put them in the, I don't know, 3. There we go. That's definitely zhuzhed up. Okay, so let me compare. Let me pull in both cards so you can see both. Sorry, you can see the bottom of my stand. That's just the way tonight's going. Okay, so here was the simpler version. So simple, I haven't actually glued it together because I do feel like I want to put a little bit of, I'm thinking baker's twine or linen thread. That's really what I'm thinking. It's a little bit of linen thread around there. But a very, very simple version. This was made with the Hello Harvest. Harvest Hello. I put it down now and I can't. There we go. Hello Harvest, sorry. This was made with the Hello Harvest. And this zhuzhed up version was made with the Season of Chic. So tell me which one you think you prefer. I think either one of them is a quality card to send this fall. Okay, so let me flip you around. Hello, Susan. Okay, ready, go. Okay. My stamp room is a disaster. I don't want anybody to see it. I wish I had one of those stamp rooms. You know those stamp rooms that they feature in catalogs? That's not mine. Maureen likes the stepped up. I'm kind of thinking I do. You know why? Because it's very sweatery. But you only like the stepped up because you saw it. If you saw the original one, you'd be like, oh yeah, sure, that's a nice card. In any case, it is the season to start really making cards. I don't know why. I feel like you need pie and you need soup and you need cards in the fall. So I hope this gave you some ideas. So pull out some stuff that you have, but if you say, no, I really want some of those things, then great. Get in touch with me or with your demonstrator, and they definitely will help you out and give you some of the supplies that you need for this. All right, that is it tonight. I hope you have a great week ahead, and I will, let me back up. I never even said at the beginning, this is Betty Sakosha. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and team leader for the Power of Positive Inking. Please contact the demonstrator who brought you to this site, or contact me if you don't have a demonstrator. I'd be happy to help you out. But contact your demonstrator in order to get any supplies that you might need. At the beginning, I told you Stampin' Up! Has a special going all month where you can get exclusive dies that match some stamp sets that are in the mini catalog. Even though the dies are not in the mini catalog, that's what makes them exclusive. You only have a month to do that. But in addition, every week this month, Stampin' Up! Is offering some different products on special. So you want to be checking in weekly to make sure that you know what's on sale, and you only can buy them for that week at that sale price. So act quickly. All right, so that's it for now, and I will see you next Tuesday. Please leave any comments or questions that you have, and I'd be happy to help you out. All right, go get yourself some baby wipes and have some fun.